have a chat about the waiving of the cooling off period for agency agreements. Now, of course, we all know there's two types of cooling off periods. There's the cooling off period around agency agreements, and that's the right of your vendor. Then there's the cooling off period for when you actually exchange on a property. So you've got an offer and acceptance and you're going through that exchange process, and that is the right of the purchaser. That's great. That's that one. Let's go back and talk about that first cooling off period, which is the cooling off period, which is the right of your vendor when they sign an agency agreement with you, because that's what they want to, that's what they want to do. So, and sometimes, many agents say to me, Rosie, we just, what's the point? Now, the point sometimes, and other agents say, well, we really want this listing. There's a number of agents wanting this listing. So, yes, we want that waived. We want to make sure that we're solid and we've got that agency agreement and it's ours. But remember that with the waiving of a cooling off period come some steps that need to be taken by your vendor, by you as an agent, to make sure that you have done that in a compliant manner. So the first thing is you need to provide them, and you have a look at the Consumer Education Guide, the New South Wales Fair Trading fact sheet. It's still the one that's dated January 2016 that's on the Fair Trading website. You can just call that up at any time off the Fair Trading website. Have a read of it. You must be giving that. You all know about it if you're a salesperson, because you must be giving that to your vendor when you are signing an agency agreement for a residential property. Now, guys, if you want to waive that cooling off period, or if your vendor wants to waive that cooling off period, they need to have been given that Consumer Education Guide, the fact sheet, at least the day before they sign the agency agreement and not more than a month before. Now, the one thing that most agents haven't got their head around is that it's not just the Consumer Education Guide they need to be given. Read the fact sheet. On almost the last page of the fact sheet, there's some information. It actually says if you can only waive the cooling off period if the agent gave a copy of the proposed unsigned agency agreement and a copy of the fact sheet to the vendor at least the day before and not more than a month before the signing of that agency agreement. So if you signed it, if you're signing it today, it needed to have been given to your vendor at least the day before and not more than a month ago. So really simple stuff. On top of that, that's the first part of being eligible to waive for your vendor to waive that cooling off period. They need to sign on the agency agreement. Obviously, on your agency agreement, it asks when you gave the Consumer Education Guide. So again, it needs to at least be the day before that you're signing that agency agreement. It also says, have they signed a waiver? Now, really easy. There is a waiver form. Now, there's whatever organisation you use to get your agency agreements, there'll be a waiver form there for you to use. Yes, you can just use something that you're writing up yourself, but if you're using forms, just use the waiver form. Really, really easy. Make sure that is signed, that you've met all those 3 steps. So the 3 steps in summary are: 1, make sure that an unsigned copy of the agency agreement and the fact sheet, so both documents, are given to your vendors, in however many people are on title, at least the day before, not more than a month ago, and that's marked on your agency agreement, and the waiver, the additional waiver form is signed. So all 3 of those need to be present for you to be able to compliantly work with your vendor and waive their right to a cooling off period. So that 1 business day, which includes Saturdays, of course, for real estate agents. So guys, making sure that that's all covered.